Hi, on the show this week, how to buy a tarot deck. Hi everyone, welcome back to Robert Farrar's Tea and Tarot. On the show this week, just a short video about how to buy a tarot deck. There'll be no jokes, there'll be no anecdotes. I'm just going to try to give you the cold, hard facts. Step number 1, decide between the Marseilles system and the Rider-Waite-Smith system. If you can't make up your mind, there are various videos online helping you to decide which way to go. And in fact, I have a video myself. Step 2, take a deep breath. It's exciting to buy a deck, but don't rush it. It really pays to do a little bit of research first. So, step 3, do your research. There are probably hundreds of commercially available tarot decks, and then there's the whole genre of indie decks and homemade decks and individually artist-produced decks. And some of these are very nice, so it's well worth having a look round. Step 4, have a look at the directories. There's a website called eclectic.net. It's not a live website anymore, they've stopped adding to it, but it's still there as a resource. And it lists hundreds of tarot decks, oracle decks and Lenormand decks with reviews and pictures and links. There's a live site called Cult of Tarot Forum that has kind of taken over from Eclectic, and they're carrying on the work of reviewing the new decks as they come out. Highly recommended. There's a thing called Indie Deck Review. If an indie deck is what you're after, have a look here. The commercially produced decks, the things by US Game Systems and Lo Scarabeo, they tend to be very solid, very reliable, and they're well researched and they're usually quite well drawn. But you may feel that it would be more chic if you had something that no one else had. A little bit like going to a party and wearing a dress that no one else has got. So you could check out certain sort of boutique-y places where rare decks or less known decks are found. There's a place called Tarot Collectibles. There's a guy in America who produces new decks and reprints of old decks. There's a place called Drive-Through Cards. It's a very eccentric place where designers can just go and upload their designs, and then the designs stay there on the website and they're just printed to order. So you can get hold of a deck that really very few other people have. There's another place called Make Playing Cards, which is the same sort of thing. They offer you the chance of printing your own cards, but they also have a shop section. If you go to that website, you need to look around a bit for the shop, but the shop's very interesting. Another rich source of hot off the press or not even yet produced decks is Kickstarter. This is where artists go to ask people to support them while they actually design things. And if you search for tarot, you will find really quite a lot of new tarot decks that are either works in progress or have actually been finished, and then there'll be a link where you can buy them in a shop. There's also Indiegogo, which is very much the same sort of thing as Kickstarter. And actually, I think it's a nicer website, more user-friendly. And don't forget to check out the big boys. There's a place in America called US Games Systems, and there's a place in Italy called Lo Scarabeo. And those decks are mainly very well made, and they can be a bit cheaper than the indie decks. It depends. There are also little boutique-y tarot shops online. There's one called Little Red Tarot Shop. There are some others whose names I've forgotten, but you'll get the idea. Okay, step 6, watch a flip-through video. When you think you found a deck you like, you might as well watch a video of it so that you can see all the cards. The manufacturers and the shops very rarely provide full flip-through videos, but the best thing to do is locate a deck that you're interested in, Google the name of the deck, click onto videos and see if anyone on YouTube has already done a video, a flip through. They usually have. And of course, I do flip throughs here. I've done about 6 or 10 or something, and I have a playlist which is called Deck Reviews, so you can find some on my channel here. When you watch the flip through video of the deck that you think you like, if necessary, slow it down or pause it. Look at every single card. Make sure you like every single card. I've found that sometimes I'm interested in a deck and I like the styling very much and I like the whole atmosphere of the deck. But when I look through it card by card, there might be one card or two cards or three cards that I actually find difficult to read. There may even be a card where there's a kind of a disagreement between me and the designer. There are sometimes decks where you think, oh, that 7 of swords looks rather like what I would expect the 5 of swords to look like. And that's really important. What you get is what you see. If the deck doesn't look particularly vibrant or attractive in the flip through video, then it won't be vibrant or attractive when you get it home. It is, after all, just pictures on bits of paper. If the reviewer says that the cardstock doesn't feel nice, then the cardstock won't feel nice when it arrives in the post. Some tarot packs are printed on thin card, some are printed on very highly glossy cardstock, which is a bit slippery and not very nice to shuffle with. So if it's a nice cardstock, if it's sort of tactile and good to shuffle with, the reviewer will certainly say that. Step 7. Are you going to buy from a physical shop or online? Well, support your local tarot shop by all means. A shop is probably not the best place to research your tarot pack. Online is much, much better. There are very few shops, I would say, in the world that have huge selections of tarot packs, and of those, very few of them will have a huge amount of sample packs that you can open and actually look through. If you're in London, go to Watkins Books, because that does have really a lot of tarot stuff, and that's a real pleasure. But most of us don't live within, travelling distance of Watkins. Do your research online. And then, by all means, go into your local shop, buy it there, order it through your local shop. Support your local shop. Step 8. How much should you pay? Tarot packs do vary enormously in price. The mainstream ones seem to be about $25 or $30. The indie ones are a mixed bag. Some of them are quite cheap. The Sheridan Douglas goes for about, £19, which is incredible because it's very, very well produced. But some indie decks, they flog them for $60 or $70. And if that's coming from the States to Europe, that could work out at $100. So don't get overexcited. Research your options. Don't spend too much on your first tarot deck. Step 9. How about a downloadable deck? This is a really nice idea. You can buy decks as downloadable PDFs or as apps for your phone, and they will cost something like $4 or $5. And that's really fantastic because you can really have an uninterrupted look at the cards in your own time at high quality before committing to buying a physical deck. If you buy PDFs, then the idea is that you go to a photocopy shop and you print them there. That's not as cheap as it sounds, but if they give you the PDFs so there's 4 tarot cards on one sheet, then probably you'll print out the deck for €20 or $20 or something like that. You will then need a corner cutter. I think these cost about $5 or $10 online. You really have to give your deck rounded corners, otherwise it'll fray quite horribly. You'll need to cut the cards up with one of those, things, those cutty things that you get in the printer's shop. It'll take a long time and your deck will never have that crisp, factory-produced feeling. But nevertheless, you will have acquired maybe a nice deck quite cheaply. Some decks are just available as PDFs. They go straight onto your phone and there you are. You can read the tarot when you're on the underground. I actually don't like that. I like tarot cards to be tarot cards. And once a deck has been turned into an app, then, I don't know, there's a whole second question of what's the programming like? How does the app work? What's the shuffling like? Don't particularly like them. I have one app on my phone and I don't think I use it. Well, step number 10 is enjoy. That's all from me this week. I'll be back next week. Stay well, stay happy, don't go crazy, and as some YouTubers say, I love you all so much.